So I had a customer who was having some problems in troubleshooting a particular gadget. So I wanted to take this opportunity to show you how to troubleshoot the most common issues with the gadgets where a particular gadget looks like the screen where it says no data available. And also want to show you how to do a couple things to make it a little bit prettier was the other request. So let's go ahead and hit them both. So first off, this case I'm looking at the Tickets by Tech gadget. So the most common problem that you'll have in some of the ticket gadgets is usually going to be based on a parameter that's been defined in maybe one of the default parameters or a parameter that you've changed. So let's take a look here. And I want to explain how a couple of these work. First off, you'll see we have a default in here, which is the config key of the MSP board. So in your initial server installation, you defined what you call your MSP board. We'll look at that here in just a minute. You also can define, maybe only particular ticket types that you wanted to look at or subtypes, priorities, and this is usually the one that causes people a problem, is the service type. Now, I manually put in a value here. If you do not have ticket types defined, or if you're not using ticket types, you really need to look at that inside of ConnectWise. That's a very important portion of ConnectWise, and that is something that we do have as a requirement of ticket types that you would want to be leveraging those ticket types. So I'm going to go ahead and, in this case, go ahead and get rid of that particular parameter. And you can go through here. You can change some of these different things. Team is another commonly one that's messed up in the configuration. But if you have something that has no values that are coming in, just go ahead and delete all of the parameters to make sure that everything else is working. So since I removed that custom type, I'm going to go ahead and finish, and we immediately have data. So let's go ahead and take a look really quick over at my server, and let me show you the configuration that I was referring to. So if I go here, and I can go ahead and configure my ConnectSMART server, that file is actually found, if you don't see it in your search list there, under Program Files, 64-bit, so under the Program Files, x86, ConnectSMART, util. This is the server config.exe that I'm running. So a common thing that can be messed up here is, in this case, I defined an invalid name for the team _ENG. I just called it Joe. So by default, most people will have this set up as just %, so it's looking at all of your team members, but you can limit your team members by using their exact full name inside of, their user ID inside of ConnectWise. I mentioned that those boards that were set up, here's those MSP boards, so by default, I'm only looking at the open tickets by tech for these two service boards. So if these were typed incorrectly or I didn't have any values set up, that could be causing me a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the change that I made. See, I need to manually restart the business service. Any changes made to the configuration, server configuration, does require you to restart the Software Effects Business Data Service. So we'll go ahead and restart that. Now, in addition, if those were a change that I wanted to make sure was applied, actually go ahead and close this. You do need to reinitialize the ConnectSMART Power Gadgets creator. I'll go ahead and go back over here to Service. I will go to my Tickets by Tech. You'll see I have all of the members that are on those two boards showing up how many tickets each one of those has. So now let's go ahead and make it look a little bit nicer. Many people like the views that we've given out, and they've seen our screenshots and some of our defaults. So let me show you how I do that. First, I'm going to flip this over to high contrast, and that's going to give me a nice contrasty black background. Notice, though, however, this isn't going to be pure black. So instead of the 31, 31, 31, I'm going to go ahead and select pure black. So you'll see that shade changed right there. Also, I like to go ahead and flip that into maybe 3D. You can also play with your, if you want to change how your legends are down there at the bottom, your titles are. So now I'm going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and save this guy out. save that out as tick test. And now we'll go ahead and execute that. Go to my gadgets. And I now have a pretty gadget. So I can go ahead and float that. And as you can see, on a black background, we now have a great looking gadget for my dashboard.